Well, we've got an atmospheric river event, bomb cyclone on the west coast, continuing to bring more rain and snow, but not to be outdone, the northeast getting some as well. So the very definition, actually exceeding the definition of a bomb cyclone, this Pacific Northwest storm system, the pressure drop required was more than double to be defined as a bomb cyclone. Just means a rapidly intensifying storm where the pressure inside the center really diminishes. That tells you that there's a lot of air moving upwards, creating that shield of precipitation. This is what the pressure map looks like early Thursday morning. The main pressure area is way off to the northwest of where the bulk of this heavy precipitation is occurring. We've got this atmospheric river being pushed out ahead of that spin. You can see there's that low pressure center, but the colder air coming in with that system really plowing up that tropical moisture out ahead of it, and that is the atmospheric river, just like a spray hose continuing to be aimed at the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, Oregon, Washington. Well, the main center of circulation is actually off to the northwest, and they're not done with this. We've got a few more waves of significant moisture for Northern California. This is rain falling this morning, wide swath of it. You can see as you go further west, of course, it drops off from the radar range, but you can see the clouds and showers and thunderstorms just in a conveyor belt lined up. So another wave coming through today into tomorrow will be hitting Northern California. And then yet another one slams into the area Sunday into Monday. Meanwhile, the surface low just continues to spin. So several waves all rotating around that main center, really piling up as far as rainfall and snowfall in the higher elevations. Still looking at up to 10 more inches of rain in parts of Northern California. And of course, this is going to be in the form of snow in the Sierra Nevada there in the higher elevations, measuring it in multiples of feet. And of course, that's very important to recharging the aquifers across California, that snow melt in particular, because then that gradually melts in the spring and refills everything. So lots of snow, 3, 4, 5 feet plus in the Sierra Nevada, where we have winter storm warnings and a whole slew of different flood warnings, flood advisories, and flood watches for Northern California because of that continued excessive rain. Already have seen several inches, but we're not done yet. We've got, again, up to another 10 potentially. And then the system that moved through the Midwest continues to push through the Northeast, bringing rain and snow to the Northeast. Not as significant as what the Pacific Northwest will see, but we're still talking about a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain across the Northeast here. Upstate New York into Long Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, up into Maine. A ton of moisture. And also in the higher elevation areas, we're talking about some significant snow and patches of snow even at some lower elevations in upstate New York. So rain and snow for the Northeast, rain and snow for the Northwest. In between, a little quieter now, though we had a little snow and rain, of course, in the upper Midwest too. And it is making an impact in the central U.S. on the drought. Hard to tell the difference between the two drought monitors. This is this week's and last week's, but we can look at the actual breakdown of statistics, and the drought has decreased from 50% of the country to 45%, and severe drought from 21 to 17%. That's just in 1 week. When we're talking about on a national scale, that 3 to 5% is actually a huge amount of areas being alleviated from drought. So the stormy pattern is making a big positive impact.